Tonight we're making monochromatic cards using the Summer Shadow dies from the SALE-a-bration catalog. Let's take a look at those. And we're also using the Shaded Summer stamp set from the annual catalog. And we'll have the hand-penned designer series paper. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week on a Wednesday. Sometimes you'll be able to find me on Monday and Friday as well. Now, give me a second to turn the camera down and we can get started. Okay, this is a card that I created out of the SALE-a-bration catalog. Came up with my own design, and I'm using the Shadows dies. This is the one that I used, this die right here. And I was able to get the die set for free with a $100 purchase from the active catalogs. So this is what it cut out. And I'm using some retired products, like this background paper is Purple Posy. That just retired. But this is an active paper. It is the 12 by 12 inch hand pen designer series paper. And I believe the stamp on the inside is also from a retired product. And that one came from the beautiful bouquet stamp set that just retired. And I'm using the Shaded Summer cling set to stamp the flower. And then I'm using the Happy Anniversary for here. And of course, I've already said we're using the Summer Shadows dies to cut this out. We need a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of garden green, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to fold that on the score line. And I'm going to burnish it on both sides to give it a nice crisp edge. And that's going to be our base. And then for the inside of the card, we have this 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. And we're just going to stamp that in garden green using the same stamp that we used here. Wishing you a day of love and happy memories. I'm just pulling it straight up. And I think that's all we had to stamp. I'm not sure. And I'll clean that off. So I'm just getting the excess ink off before I put it in my Stampin' scrub. And I've been using this all day, so I don't need to spray it. And I'm just going to rub it and clean that off. So then we'll go ahead and glue this down into our card right away. And I am going to use our multi-purpose glue. I'm going to use this Needle Nose tip bottle that I've purchased, and I put the glue in here. but it is this multi-purpose glue which is in our catalog. And the reason I'm doing that, it's because it's easier for me to get a fine line. And I don't think you use as much glue. You keep the lines smaller. And then it's easier for some of the different things I've done where I needed a really fine space to put it in. So I'm going to leave 1/8 of an inch around the border here. I love how the ink color matches perfectly. So this is a garden green card stock, and this is a garden green ink. That's one fine thing about the Stampin' Up! Products. The color coordination is just awesome. So next we're going to work on is embossing the front of the card. So we want to emboss this part. It's a floral part, and I'm using an old embossing folder called Country Floral. But if you'll note, there are several types in our catalog that would work great. There's the dandelions. There is the ornate floral, the pretty floral, magnolia 3D. So you could almost use any one of those. So what you want to do when you're going to emboss, this is a 3D embossing folder. Sometimes you'll want to spray the cardstock. I didn't do that with the purple posies, so I'm going to try it on this one as well. So I'm without spraying it. So you line it up in here, you close it up, and then you put it into the cut and emboss machine with the fold portion in first, so that when you're rolling, it's going to roll in that way. So let me go do that. And of course, I've got one all ready for us. And so we want to trim that down. And what I did here, I trimmed it down to 1/8 inch off of the quarter sheet of paper. But I think I'm going to take it 1/4 of an inch, and we'll see how that looks. So let me get my trimmer. So the 1/4 inch paper is 4 1/4 inches. So we want to take 1/4 inch off. And so that's going to be 4 inches. And then the other directions, you want to take another 1/4 inch off. And it's normally 5 1/2 inches. So I am just going to take it at 5 1/4. And then I'm going to put this down, adhere it to our card base. But I like to use the tear and tape because of the elevations, the differences in the elevation. With the glue, I'm not sure how that would, where I'd make sure I had exact contact. So I am going to use the tear and tape, and I am going to put it all the way around the card. And I'm going to use my little scissors here to just trim it rather than tear it off. And like I said, I'm going all the way around the card. And I'm just going to rub this with my finger here. Could use your bone folder. Just don't press too hard because you don't want to get rid of that 3D effect. And then I am going to put one diagonally in the middle because we are attaching stuff to the middle of this card, and I want to have that kind of stable there. So we'll just take your pick tool and pull the backings off. And I'm going to start at the top, and we'll just keep rotating the card. And I'll try not to put my wrist down on the tape. I end up having the card stick to me rather than having it lay freely. Okay. So we've got that taken care of. So now I'm going to set it down on the front of the card. And now we want to have 1/8 of an inch, just like we did with the basic white. We want that same kind of edging all the way around the card. And I want to just check and make sure I've got it at the top here just right. And I'm gently rubbing it. And then I'm going to open it up on the inside and use my bone folder on the inside gently, just to make sure I've got it all secured. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. Next we want to do is emboss the flower and the banner. So I've already cut a banner out for us using the die from the Floral Hearts die. And I've cut that out already. Right here. So, and then for the flower, we're just going to stamp it on here. I'm going to get everything out of the way because I'm going to use our embossing, the Versamark that we use to do our embossing, and then we'll have some powder that I'm going to spread on that to do the embossing. And I don't want that powder to get all over everything, so that's why I'm moving everything out of the way. So I am going to do the flower first. I kind of went and got some along the red edge of the rubber, and I don't want that to get on the paper because then it will be difficult to get it done, get the ink off the paper. So I am going to use our static card here. We don't carry this anymore, but I know you can get it at other craft places, and this is ecstatic. And there's probably other products out there like that. What that does is gets all the static out of here, so then you get a cleaner stamped image. So I am going to put this down now. And why this ink works better is because it takes longer to dry. And I'm going to cover that up for right now. It takes longer to dry so that you can have time to put on your embossing powder. So let me get this down here. And I'm going to just put the powder on. And then tap it off. There's some excess white here, and I'm just going to brush that off and back into the bowl. Okay, that looks good. Then the next thing is we want to do is stamp our banner. And that is going to be, again, with this Versamark. And it's going to say Happy Anniversary. I'm going to top that off right away. And it looks like I have it this way instead. What's going on here? Okay. And I forgot to do the static guard, so hopefully it'll be fine. Got some smudges, and let's see if we can clean those up with that paintbrush. Okay, so next I'm going to use the embossing tool, and I am going to use it in fast mode and also silence it so you won't hear it. Next we're going to want to do is die cut this. So you put your die cut right on here, and I'm lining it up to get it centered over the flower. And then I'm just going to put some washi tape down, and we'll run it through our cut emboss. And I've already done that. So here we have our two pieces, our banner and our anniversary, and we're going to take our garden green ink and we want to color that in a little bit more. So I'm going to just put a little paper underneath here. And I've already did it with the happy anniversary. So all we need to do is the flower. And I'm just going to start in the end because I just didn't want to have blobs come on. And I probably should have done this before cutting it out because it's a lot easier to hang on to. But it'll be fine. So what this is doing is just darkening the green, and then we'll come back with a rag and wipe off the green that's on the white here. I think that's plenty. And I am just going to kind of clean my brush here a little bit. Just emptying it from the ink. And I'll wash this out in a few minutes. But it won't probably get all the green out. But it won't be dirty. It's just it won't be white again. So I'm going to wipe all the green off of the flower. And this definitely would be easier if I hadn't cut it out yet, because you'd still have the other part of the card to hold on to. Trying not to tear this piece of paper up here, because it's not a whole lot hanging on to the bottom half of the flower. Let me try one more swipe. It's still getting some green off, so let's... I think that's good. So next we'll want to do is we'll want to adhere it to our card. So we've got our 3 by 4 inch piece cut out, and I could put it on this way with the white and the green, just like I did with the purple here, or I could put it on this way, and I'm just going to see how it's going to look. I do like that way. And let's see what you guys think. That looks good too. So I'm going to leave it this way, be monochromatic. So let me just see if I can, thought I saw some more green coming off down here. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on the back of this flower and just glue it down onto this 3 by 4 inch piece. And it's nice to have the needle nose now when I'm going around the edges here and doing the neck of the flower. And then the next piece, we will put it on here with dimensionals. And I'm going to use the bigger dimensionals. And I'm actually going to put a lot on because I don't like them to get all mangled when I put it through the rollers, when it goes through the rollers at the post office. And I will be mailing these because I have some anniversaries for some family members that I need to mail these out to. And I probably have several more cards I'm going to want to make like this, so I like to make them in the color scheme of what they had at their wedding. And I have a couple that actually had green for their wedding, so that's going to work really well. Just trying to see if it's buckling too much. I think I'll put some smaller ones right in between those because it seems to be buckling on me. Probably should have put 4 on each side, the bigger ones, but I think we did fine. And now I'm just going to take the backings off using the Take Your Pick. Just digging into the paper, not too far because you don't want to come out the other end, and then pulling up at an angle. So then we will put this on here, centering it, leaving over a ½ inch on the sides, probably 3/4 of an inch on the top and bottom. I didn't measure it, but I'm just eyeballing it here. And then we'll put on our banner. And so this banner has some pre-scoring here, so I'm going to just fold it here and burnish it. And we'll do the other side at the same time. And then it folds the opposite way on the underneath section. And I am going to glue those or tape those all down right upon each other because I don't want to add a lot more height with this. And I am going to use the tear and tape for that. So I'm going to put it on right here. Okay, and then we'll use our Take Your Pick tool and we'll pull off that first portion. And then we're going to put it, tear and tape on the inside of the fold. And I'm covering it up over the fold portion, but that's okay because it's going to just fold itself right back upon itself, so that's not creating a problem. But that's sticking out the end, so I'm just going to snip that part off. And I'm just going to push those down a little bit And then pull up this backing. So that's our banner, and I am going to put tear and tape on these two ends, and then I'm going to put glue dots right across the back portion. So tear and tape. And I will find my glue dots right here. And then probably just 3 is going to be fine. Left, right, and center. And I'm sticking my fingers into the glue dots. Not what I wanted to do. So that's going to work for me. And then I'm going to just add some gems. And I think I'm going to just use those clear ones that I have. And turn that over. Yeah, I think those are going to work just fine. It looks fine without the gems, but I kind of like to add a little bit of sparkle. So on the opposite end of the take your pick, there's this putty tip, and I'm just kind of working the putty up toward the end, and I'm just going to get the gem, then put a little dot of glue down and bring it back down. Too much glue, so let me see if I can get that off. And I'll do the same thing up here and see if I can control the glue a little bit better. Now obviously these aren't Stampin' Ups, because Stampin' Ups has the kind that have the glue on the back of them. I like it. Let's bring in some other cards that I did. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. As you can see, you could use any sentiment on there. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know of the promotions going on right now. Experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's paper pumpkin kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples or you're ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. The kit contains enough supplies to create 12 treat boxes. Offers a versatile autumnal experience with the selection of treat box styles. Take your pick of apple, pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern treat boxes. The paper pumpkin box is even designed to easily transform into a vintage wheelbarrow to display your harvest. The Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit runs from August 11th through September 10th. The July-December mini catalog is here. Sales run from August 3rd through January 3rd. It's your passport to stunning seasonal projects. It contains all the products you'll need to craft, create, and celebrate during Halloween, Christmas, and more. Are you ready to celebrate? SALE-a-bration is one of our biggest promotions of the year. Are you ready to celebrate? During the SALE-a-bration, you can earn exclusive products for free. For every $50 you spend, you can add your pick of a SALE-a-bration product to the cart at no additional cost. Sale runs August 3rd through September 30th. Mark your calendar. I'll be back Monday, August 30th at 7 p.m. Central Time with something new from the new SALE-a-bration catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight, and I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.